Y'all have very short hair now. Did you even need a haircut today?
Yes, I did.
Ah.
I had one like a bunch.
I did that one. I had no hair left.
They,
Yeah, your hair looks cute. I didn't.
that All Stars over there on Pine, he does a pretty good job. Yeah, he did mine. He did the
We
Chiefs.
looked at it. It's way overpriced.
Chief went a little shorter than I was willing to go
It
though.
needs a lot
Yeah, I
of
see
updates
that.
on the inside. And they have an HOA.
All right. Well, if we're ready, we'll get this thing going.
Lund,
Here.
Johnston,
Here.
Watts,
Here.
Allen,
Here.
Jacob.
Here. The approval of the minutes.
Move to approve. Lund,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Watts,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Jacob.
Sit down.
All right. Ordinance, second reading. Oops.
Move to adopt.
Oops. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Move to adopt the agenda.
Bob,
I did move to adopt.
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. All right, we got a presentation of the 2018 through 2022 five-year capital improvement program by Matthew.
Well, this will let you know, basically what we have going on with the CLPs this year. It was a little faster process with the CLPs this year, meaning that we have a lot of other things going on with the GEO bonds that will take a lot of attention. So, So I just put together a quick few slides. So the first one is of the half cent. We project that we'll have a little under 900,000 at year's end. Revenues next year, we'll have about 1,064,000 to spend for the half cent fund next year. Most of that will be spent on, well, as you can see, the 1.3 million in debt that we have. And then the 200,000 is the general fund transfer, which pays for overhead costs associated with the fund. And then we have our transportation fund. We project that it'll be around 450,000 for next year. That'll be where we end at. We don't have the debt on it. Well, we have 31,000 in debt on this fund. That'll be the last payment this year. That I believe that's the tandem truck. So we'll have around 4.5 million, 1.5 million left for projects for 2019. So this is basically the outlook for the combined funds, about 1.1 million, and for the projected balance at the end of the year. We're looking at about 2.5 million in revenues next year, the debt being 1.3. It'll leave us with about 1.7 million for funding. So this should leave us with a projected cash balance of around 300,000. 200 of that will be the reserve. So there's a little room in there, but before last year, our reserve was 300,000. So this is basically getting us back up to that mark. Last year was the first year we decided to spend down to 300. So, in your packet, there is a workbook, and if you could turn to page, it's the last page of the workbook, and it is titled, the summary sheet, community investment plan summary sheet. This lists all of the projects that we plan on doing in the CIP in the coming year. A couple couple highlights. The annual street maintenance program is going from 550 to 600,000. We will get the downtown phase 4 construction. That's in there as well.
We're still looking at 709,000 for phase 4, even though the university is not in a position to help with that at all.
It was originally 1.2 million,
Yeah.
because that included the intersection. So we subtracted out the intersection costs, which was about $500,000, and that does bring us back to the 700,000 that's still to get from the railroad tracks up to just about the intersection of South and
Okay.
Golden. But we won't be doing any improvements to the intersection itself.
Okay.
And this year, we decided to put 200,000 in for air packs. Even though we will most likely still go after the grant, it's pending at this time as well. But we're basically at a time where we can't wait any longer on buying air packs. They're to the point where they can't get parts to refurbish them. So we figured we could take 200,000, buy half of what we need this year, and then maybe another 200,000 and do that again next year.
Can't do without those, can you?
It's hard.
Yeah. It would be very-
Without air.
Yeah.
Also, we have 150,000 set aside for the Northfield subdivision. Even though that's not touching what we will need, I think, Slim said around 500, maybe
400 something.
400 some thousand that we'll need. It's a good start to getting that together. There is, Jim had put us onto a grant that is offered. I can't remember if it was by FEMA or someone, but it's a grant, and we did apply for it, but we didn't get it this year, so we'll probably go ahead and try it again next year as well. And on the summary sheet, we also noted the GO bond, the work that we'll be doing with GO bond funds, and the water pollution control. Is there any questions, or is there anything that you've seen or did not see on this sheet that you thought maybe would be?
The right turn lane McGuire to Young Street, is that a payment on the one we did for the or not for the university, but for the bank, or is that another?
No, I believe that's what that is.
Yeah, that's a credit union turn lane, put in there
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
I think this is final year.
Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna say. I
Okay.
think this is final year on that.
I noticed the traffic signal upgrade appears here under GO bonds, and I think I saw it back.
LED traffic signal luminaries?
Yeah. Is that one in the same deal we're talking about?
No, the luminaries, is that dealing with the street sign? That might be more.
Talking about LED lights is what we're talking about,
Yeah,
but
the 2,000.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad we're not paying them per call tonight.
we got someone.
yeah.
They're busy.
So I think it's these separate projects. So the LEDs is actually replacing a bulb and transitioning from the old halogen lights to the LED lights. The traffic signal upgrade is actually updating the technology for how they change and how they switch.
Okay, so
Actually,
that's
not
the
actual
GO
bulbs
bond.
and lights.
Okay,
Correct.
all right, so it's
They're two
different things.
They're both on traffic signals, but they're two different aspects.
Trying to
Okay.
get away from the timed and trying to get them synced with the traffic.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
All right. So they were gonna spend almost $5.5 million this year on improvements?
On the GO bond.
Oh,
GO
that's-
bond.
Yeah, that's GO bonds. Yeah, we spend that money.
And that's also assuming that we're doing the phase 1 of Veterans Road this
Mhm.
next fiscal year.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah, I got you, okay.
The Commerce Park development, Slim, is that the sewer that we're talking about, sewer and water?
Yes.
basically?
Seward Street.
Okay.
So almost $8.5 million.
Yep.
Any other questions or adjustments that you would like to make to the CIP plan for next year?
I know you've answered this question before, but on the transportation fund, the fuel tax that supports that, what's our rate?
There's a few different
think you asked that, I don't think
rates on that fuel tax. Because it's not only a fuel tax, it's a tax on the purchase of the vehicles as well. That supports that. I don't have the exact fuel tax price right now.
Okay.
But it's a tax that's levied by the state, and we get funds passed down to us.
When they choose to do it.
Yeah.
they're better than that. They used to be anyway.
Yeah, that's basically what that is.
Okay. All right. And that half-cent sales tax is not sunset?
No, there is a sunset. on
And
that.
it is-
Yeah. The half cent sunsets, I believe, is 2027. And then we'll have 2 or 3 years remaining to pay off.
Or outstanding debts?
Yeah. There is a chance where we will be able to go back to the voters and renew that in the year before, so I believe it'll be 2026.
Okay.
To go back, but until then,
All right.
yeah, 2027, but payments only in the 2025,
I know you said it,
for 2 years.
but how much will, at the end of 2018, we'll have how much in reserves again?
At the end of 2018, we plan to have 300,000.
Yeah, okay.
100 in unrestricted, 200 in restricted for the CIP.
Yeah, for CIP, that doesn't include general fund. General fund has its own separate reserve.
Right.
Yeah, and that would be for the transportation and the half cent combined.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Any more questions? All right. Thank you. All right, let's move on to the ordinance here. We got second reading here. An ordinance annexing certain adjacent territories into the city of Warrensburg, Missouri, known as the right-of-way from McGuire Street Business Highway 13, Hawthorne Boulevard, Northwest 21 Road.
At your last city council meeting, you held a public hearing and you read this ordinance for the first time. This is annexing in the right-of-way of those 3 streets necessary then for to build the roundabout there at the intersection of Hawthorne Boulevard and McGuire Street / Business Highway 13. So we have not received any additional public comment since your last meeting, and I would be happy to answer any questions on this. There is a map of the area we're talking about in your packet. Otherwise, it's ready for a second reading.
Does anybody have any questions?
Move said bill be passed second reading by title.
This needs to be moved to approve.
Motion
Move
to
to
approve.
approve.
Yep.
Well,
This
yeah.
This is for adoption or
Wasted your
rejection.
breath, didn't you?
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. All right, first and second readings. An ordinance accepting transfer of real estate for a portion of the right-of-way for McGuire Street, Business Highway 13, Hawthorne Boulevard, and Northwest 21 Road.
Earlier in June, the county executed the quitclaim deed, which is attached to your packet. That deeds the right-of-way that we just discussed to the city of Warrensburg. Because they had initiated as their entity the annexation, we didn't want to proceed with this until that was completed. With that having been completed, it's now appropriate for the city to take ownership of that right-of-way if that is your desire.
And it's up for first and second reading?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
Move to pass said ordinance to second reading by title?
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
This is an ordinance accepting transfer of real estate for a portion of the rights of way for McGuire Street, Business Highway 13, Hawthorne Boulevard, Northwest 21 Road. This is for adoption or rejection. Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. An ordinance authorizing the city manager and city clerk to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Warrensburg R6 district, school district for the School Resource Officers Program for the 2017-2018 school year.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, this is a renewal of the agreement we have to provide SROs to the elementary, middle school, and high schools. We provide 3 officers. The school district provides reimbursement for those officers' salary and overtime. Additionally, they provide for the cost of training for the officers to attend SRO schools. The only difference to the agreement for this year is an increase in the cost of reimbursement to cover salary increases and benefit increases for the officers that are assigned. We are asking for approval. It was approved by the school board at their meeting last Tuesday night.
How many officers do we have at the schools right now?
3.
And they rotate schools?
No, they're assigned to a specific school. So right now we have Andrew Frazier's at the high school. The middle school, we're going to be replacing that officer with a new officer we haven't selected yet. And the elementary school is Sean Hyatt.
Okay. And it goes to all 4 elementary
Yes.
schools then?
Yeah, he rotates.
Okay.
Is the
And 3
agreement,
I'm sorry.
is the agreement for 1 year at a time?
Yeah, we renew it each year.
Each year, okay.
It hasn't changed much from year to year. This is the first time we changed the salary levels because of the increases in the salary increases we had last year.
Okay.
And then 3 is what our number was, or was it?
Correct, 3. And during the school years, when they're at the schools in the summertime, we pay them and they work the streets.
Move bill to be passed the second reading by title.
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
This is an ordinance authorizing the city manager and city clerk to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Warrensburg R6 School District for the School Resource Officer Program for the 2017-2018 school year. This is for adoption or rejection. Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. All right, an ordinance authorizing the city manager and city clerk to execute a signed lease with Zaxby's Warrensburg, Missouri non-co-op advertising fund.
So with MC Sports having closed, we would like to get their sign down, and Zaxby's has expressed interest in that. So we have negotiated the lease agreement with them. Pretty much the only difference between this agreement and any others is that they would rather pay on an annual basis instead of a monthly basis. So we did change the language to accommodate for an annual payment instead of a month-to-month basis. Other than that, the rate is the same as what has been negotiated and approved by council in previous leases.
That still leaves room for Brown.
Yes, and I had a conversation with him today, and we were working on a lease for him.
Too bad I haven't learned.
Okay. Move the said bill be passed the second reading by title.
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
This is an ordinance authorizing the city manager and city clerk to execute a signed lease with Zaxby's, Warrensburg, Missouri, non-co-op advertising fund. This is for adoption or rejection. Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. All right, other businesses and appearances. Request for funding from the Stevenson Fund for the Teachers Warehouse of Johnson County.
The city's had a request from the Teachers Warehouse for $500. Rhonda Poe has requested the money. This is a totally volunteer group. What they do is they buy school supplies before school, and then they allow the teachers to come into their warehouse and receive them for their students. So I've heard a lot of good things about the program. I think they've been in existence for about 8 or 9 years now. So they would like $500 from the Stevenson Fund.
And we've contributed from the Stevens Fund previous years, correct?
Uh-huh.
I think that
Yeah.
was one that we've done.
At that
We've
level, I
always-
think, too. wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've done that one for the 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
My point is, it's not a new request.
Right.
Yeah.
Just need a move to approve.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Move to approve.
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. All right. Mayoral appointments to boards and commissions. Type 1, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
The mayor would like to recommend Karen Hicklin to the Historic Preservation Commission. She had made application and expressed an interest in this board. And I think you all have gotten to look at her application. It was enclosed.
I do know she has come recommended, so.
Mhm. Yeah. She's currently the
Head of the library.
head library
Uh-huh.
here, the
Yeah.
Trails region.
Yeah, she's been around quite
Yeah.
a number of years.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes. Entryway sign landscaping discussion.
Mr. Mayor, members of the city council, please put in our entryway sign. Looking at some way to make the area look less better than it does out there around the sign. I think council has voiced some concern with that. I've been working with master gardeners to come up with some sort of landscape proposal to do some installation out there on that. If you're familiar, the West Y, the entryway into town, they've recently redone that and gotten it sort of more manageable, and they've done a really good job with that over the years. So in their proposal, they're looking to run a concrete ribbon around that, such very similar to what they did over at the West Y area there, and put plantings in there. We've got $2,000 allocated towards that to improve that this year. They've said that they wouldn't mind chipping in a little bit for some of the plants and stuff. So that is, they like to have community goals, have community projects that's very visible to people. And we're real happy with what they've proposed to us, and shown we want the council to look at it and see if they did a cut and paste the best they could of what potentially it could look like. Only problematic is problem we don't have water out there. We'll have to take a tank out there and water it from time to time until it gets going well. A lot of the plants that they're putting in out there are drought tolerant.
Mhm.
So they've done a real good job with their plant selection and trying to come up with a design that they think will look nice and manageable. I guess staff would be asking that council look at it and kind of give a nod if we want to move forward with what they propose.
I like it. I think it's needed it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
There's one watering in their proposal I saw, but you're right, without some extra water.
They've been a very good group for public works staff to work with on stuff. And that project out on the Y, we provide them with mulch every year. We
Yeah.
haul away what they have excess and debris and plant, dead plants and stuff. And we've worked hand in hand for a number of years, so I really feel fortunate to have
Oh, yeah.
a good group to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I assure you that they're just getting dry. We will be told so.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
very
You
aware.
can count on it.
They will make sure it's maintained.
Yeah. Mm.
So we had originally looked at $2,000 for it, but it looks like here it's only gonna cost $820.
Well, we haven't
That's
got
just
the
the
cost
plan.
solely in there, what that concrete ribbon would be. That's done by a private company that comes in with a concrete machine and runs around the edge of it. And we're gonna have some staff time in it, so, we're trying to hold that to that budget on there. If we get by last, we'll be forced.
Probably about $1 grand for
Yeah.
But they did
Yeah.
do a cost analysis on it, which I wanted some sort of idea what they were spending, wanting us to spend for it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Need anything from us other than,
Verbal nod.
I just like hearing I like it, so I'm counting.
I like it. Yeah.
Now we gotta get everybody who puts their sign out there to put a sign out there neatly and to face it the correct direction, so.
We would kind of like to have them get permission to do some of those. but
I like that idea too. So-
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove by there a couple of times and thought, okay, what are we up to? 6 signs out there?
Old habits are hard to break.
It is, yes,
And,
so.
quite frankly, a lot of those people think that belongs to Country Kitchen. They don't realize that is city run.
Right, yep. I mean, I like them to be able to put signs out there, but if we can just get them in a nice, neat.
I have to put an X on the ground out there.
There you go, yeah. Signs are allowed in this area right here. All right. Let's see here. Budget discussions.
Well, the staff has did a great job whittling down what we could out of next year's budget. We have seen a little change in the last month, rather, with revenues coming in higher than expected. Last month we had our highest month on record. So this could change things potentially, but as of right now, there's some serious cuts that we will need to make. We have basically what I've drawn out as 2 choices. We have cut spending this year. We have a total of $11,300,000 that is currently budgeted to spend this year. I don't see us spending that amount anyway, but we will need to cut that budget down to about 10,100,000 to make what we have in next year's budget right now work. The other option that we were looking at is bringing next year's budget into balance, and that would mean cutting the current 10,000,005, cutting it down to 995, which is $680,000 cut. And we really, everything that's in the budget for 18 as of right now is basically a need. So it would be very hard to do this. We would basically be cutting out all capital items. We would not be staffing certain positions that are open now. And potentially, if we couldn't do that, we might have to look at other means of bringing that dollar amount down. We have put together a unfunded list and a funded list to kind of let you know what is in the budget and what isn't in the budget as of today. And as you can see, the items that are currently in are, I mean, these are items that are needed by the city. There's not much fat to this budget as it stands right now. We have worked at trying to get grants in to pay for some of the things. Both chiefs, fire chief and the police chief, have said that they would go after grants to try to fund some of the things that they need. That was a great help to the budget to get us to where we are right now as well.
So a couple of things on this. One, I would echo Matthew's comments that staff has done a very good job of sharpening their pencil and really cutting out a lot of things. In fact, as I went through and reviewed department budgets and those types of things, a lot of these budgets are either at the same level as last year or some cases lower than what we had funded this year. So we're not seeing a significant increase among departments. At the same time, though, we have to deal with the reality that revenues aren't coming in as strong as we had hoped before. And so we have a few choices, and that is we can either tighten our belt a little bit this year and create a surplus to help carry us through next year, or we can hit the nail on the head and bite the bullet and bring our budget in alignment with what we think revenues will be next year. And that does mean cuts. That would include, as Matthew said, some cuts to different pieces of equipment and those types of things, and including potentially, our biggest asset, our biggest resource is our staff, but that's also our biggest expense. And so we're at a point now that, and really to make any significant impact on the budget, we would have to cut positions to get the numbers down where we need them to be to fully balance. I guess option 3, which isn't included here, is again going back to the voters for some more potential revenue. There's communities around us that charge a public safety tax to help support their police and fire departments, which we have not tapped into yet. I guess my hesitancy on that is that would require some significant discussion by council as far as we just had increases in tax approved by the voters, so how soon do you throw another one out there? And 2 is, as you can see, we haven't included any progress regarding the McGuire Bridge or the McGuire Corridor project, and at what point do we deal with that? And you can only go to the voters so many times to ask for tax increases, and so we need to prioritize what's important there regarding the future of Warrensburg for that. But that is one option that's out there that some communities tap into. There is a specific sales or property tax designated towards helping with the operational costs of your public safety departments. Anyway, so at this point, before staff went through and spent a lot more time and really trying to make some tough decisions if necessary, we wanted to get an idea from council on which direction would you like us to go. Do you want us to focus on cutting money out this year and creating a surplus for next year, which hopefully potentially diminishes the need to cut positions and those types of things next year? Or do you want us to bite that bullet now and start making those tough decisions now? My personal preference is I would prefer to probably try to maintain positions as long as we can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to think about laying anybody off, that's for sure. You know, or not filling positions that we need to fill.
Wasn't there a discussion about gas tax possibly, where people come to our city and they pay for the gas that can get, instead of going to the voters? Go to the voters, but
yeah,
it's minimal.
That would be the same issue as the rest. You would have to go to the voters.
Right, yeah.
Kind
Kind of like your bed tax too, though. I mean, if you stay in a motel, you get, so your gas, at least it's not, goes on your property, it doesn't go in your car, your house, or anything like that.
I think we had some questions as far as the legality of being able to do that. And there was one community that we were kind of trying to watch to see how that went, and I could never see any results as far as whether that passed or not. So I'm assuming it didn't pass.
Lexington attempted it, didn't pass.
Yeah,
It requires a supermajority.
Yeah.
Right.
They did it at
Regardless of which election,
For that specific type of tax, yes.
still supermajority.
What would be the strategy or the significantly cut areas for doing it this year?
that we would have to go back and look at each department. We've had departments, I sent this memo out at the same time you guys received it. And so we've had departments come and turning in, basically saying we're not gonna use this money already. So I think we'll be able, I'm really confident that we'll be able to cut it down to where we will need it this year.
Would some of these open positions continue to remain open, or the staffing would stay the same? It's just gonna be trying to get dollars from budgets?
Yeah.
No stuff. Okay, so that's fully funding the 8 or 10 positions that are open right now?
Yes.
Okay. My
Most
vote.
of the decision makers for the staff are sitting out here, so what's easier on you guys? Try to do it from here or?
I would rather see things cut this year.
That's the easiest for me. I think, looking at next year, like Harold said, we're bare bones, so it's gonna be really tough we're gonna be tightening the belts anyway. We aren't buying any new police cars. So, and that's a tough decision to make, because you get higher mileage, you start getting more wear and tear on them. But I think it's easier, because we've got some areas this year that we didn't quite spend as much as we thought we were gonna. Vehicle purchases being one, we made 2 really good purchases and saved some money there. And so I think nickel and dime to come up with it.
I think we all want to keep staff. I mean, obviously fire
Oh,
and
yeah.
police, and then you've got this, so that's the last thing I think any of us would want to do is cut staff at this point.
I mean, if you look at what we have for staff, I don't see any place there is to cut
No.
staff. I mean,
No.
they're already working as hard as they can work, and I don't think there's anywhere left to cut that.
Well, I don't know about Slim, no. I like your flowers. I'm just looking on this. Yeah.
Greg's already doing a job for 2 people, so. you know.
Yeah.
I think we got our answer right there, folks.
Yep.
I mean.
Again, we can try to buy another year, but again, if the trend continues, the next fiscal year, it's not gonna be a fun budget process.
Well, the history on our side, though, says that after a dip in revenue, they shoot back up. We have around 15, close to 20 years worth of data, and the last dip we saw was when the economy fell, and it was just 1 year, and it shot up past the previous year's mark for next year. So.
I was looking at the history of the sales tax revenues as they come in too, and you can almost track by month.
Yeah.
So the last, like October will be a healthy month as July was, so.
I think the quarterly, looking at it quarterly, will help us out. And as I get some time, I'll put together some previous year quarterly reports, so maybe we can start to see a trend. Because it's a little easier to look at sales tax in 3-month breakdowns than it is in that 1 month, because basically the sales tax is paid on the honor system.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and with the sales tax issue being kicked to the federal level by state, you know, we're, I mean, we can still try to put pressure on our legislators.
Yes.
And we will do that, but still, right now they feel like it's a federal issue and needs to be handled at that level. Unfortunately.
So cut funding this year.
I think that's. All right. All right. I'm gonna jump to 11 and come back to 10. Appearances to the council not listed on the agenda. Anybody back there? I don't think so. Obviously, nobody's standing up, so. Nothing
Would you
on
like us
there?
to change that order permanently for the future?
Yes, that'd be great. And then, all right. Miscellaneous matters to the mayor and or city council, so jump over here to the city manager's report.
So a lot of our time has been spent on budget here recently, as you can probably imagine, crunching numbers and trying to get things to balance out. But we've also been working diligently on our website. We were hoping to have that launched early this last month, but there's been a few more changes that we've asked the website developer to make for better aesthetics and ease of navigating the website. So we felt it was important to make sure we get it right before we launch it. And so we're still working on that. But a lot of the content has been developed, and we are pretty close to be ready to launch that live. And then I also wanted to introduce Marcy Bryant, our new WCDB director. Today was her first day.
All right.
So you can see the deer in the headlight looks right now. Overwhelmed. But we're excited to have her on board. She was a very well qualified candidate and quickly rose above the other candidates, and we're excited to have her on board. I do not have anything else this evening.
All right, Matthew. You told us all kinds of bad news. You want to go for 3 on the bad news category, or you want to give me something good? All right.
We got revenues are up.
Okay.
Again, like I said earlier, this is the highest month that we have on record. There could be something to say to that.
On record like this year?
No, as far
Ever?
back as I can see.
That's good.
It's kind of sticky. One other thing though, to let you guys know that we only
Just take
receive
what we
one
can get,
payment
right?
per month from the Department of Revenue. And this year, this month we received, today we received another payment.
Oh, here we go.
Small payment. It almost looks like interest. So I'll keep you posted to let you know when I find out more about what this is.
Well, hopefully they didn't make a mistake and you're gonna have to go back.
I don't think it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think they know exactly.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
But with that being said, I expect the next few months to come in something like this as well.
Good.
That's good news.
And then we received the Senior Budget Award. We received it last week for our 2017 budget.
Congratulations.
It's 3 years in a row after we had a drought for a while. So,
We'll talk about Santa Claus.
oh, yes, the S&P. So we had a rating presentation on Wednesday of last week with S&P. They were very impressed with some of our numbers and some of the things that we're doing. We were supposed to get responses back today, but we didn't receive anything, so I'm hoping tomorrow. And then they'll rate us on Wednesday, and we should get the. But it looks like we're gonna stay the same. Hopefully, they will give us a good outlook. I can't remember exactly what the phrase is, but basically saying that we're trending upwards.
Turning positive, so trending.
Yeah. So that's what we're hoping, but we will. I expect at least stay AA negative, which is an investment grade. That's the highest investment grade that you can get, and for a city our size, and maybe as high as we can get.
Good. Congratulations on that budget recognition too. A lot of work there.
We have started processing the annexation requests necessary to extend the city limits across Highway 13 and onto the Brady Commerce Park and the Dollar Tree site. So the first 4 of those requests will come forward to you at your August 14th council meeting. So that'll be a long meeting.
Thanks for the warning.
Those all go to planning and zoning first, right?
The rezoning part of that goes to Planning and Zoning Commission. The Planning and Zoning Commission are made aware of the annexations because of that, but they don't take action on the annexations. That's how they get info.
As far as street maintenance goes, we've completed Farm Road Code, seal coating portions of the project. Seal coating was painfully slow, high humidity that we've had didn't lend to getting it cured out very quick, so it took them about twice as long to get that project taken care of. Plans are for them to start milling for the asphalt overlay projects tomorrow. They should be milling for the rest of the week. And then the contractors should come in, not the next week, but the week after, to do the asphalt overlay. We've been pressed on and trying to impress on them, they don't want to be trying to lay asphalt when all the students come back. But they haven't experienced that yet, so we may make believers out of them here, so. But hopefully they can get that in under the wire before classes, or before the students get in, so.
So is PCA done, or is there?
PCA, the portion that was chip seal last year is completed.
Okay.
The next portion that was done this year will be seal coated, as will Veterans Road next year.
Okay. So Hawthorne will be just like PCA
Next
does.
year
Okay.
also. We think the process is working very well. We've got all the loose material off of it, where the rough edges off the rock, so to speak, this year. Then we've got a real nice surface when we come in and seal coat. I think you all noticed how much smoother the roadways are.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hawthorne seemed to. I know when you guys did PCA last year, it was like, oh my God, where Hawthorne didn't feel as bad as PCA did.
Mitchell Street looks great.
I hope we're on something that seems to be working very well for us, and it's very cost effective.
I only saw one complaint. That was somebody said we nicked their car, but you know.
We've had a few complaints.
Yeah.
But it's generally from people who are just not familiar with the process.
Yeah.
Why are you putting gravel on my street?
It's all rock in some form, just depends on
Yeah.
how much asphalt it is.
That's right.
Well, most of the signs I've seen, that's like fresh oil, you just avoid that street. That's all.
We were really concerned with the bleeding this year.
Yeah.
It didn't bleed, the only thing we've had some issues with very, very large heavily loaded trucks making a turn on it. It's scuffed it, but contractor will be back in later this week to take care of some of those. That's all I got.
IT shaking their head no, so. You want to talk for a minute? I mean.
I think we would only add that the discussion about the eclipse event going on August
21st.
I know that Suzanne is going to be organizing, or at least trying to get some of the events together. I know that Marcy and I have received lots of visitors wanting to come into the city for this event, or if there are events, but really just to visit. So just to get the word out there, if you guys know of anything that's going on, if you have any information.
Did you get some glasses? The school, I guess, got like 1,000 or something glasses.
Well, no, I didn't know about that, so it's good information.
Yeah, they're
I
free,
know-
you can get a box of them for the employees.
Okay.
I was over in St. Joe about 4 months ago at a bowling tournament, and I was talking to one of the hotel managers up there, and they said every hotel is booked solid for this event. They're
having a huge festival for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Festival for
Yep.
them. Columbia's doing the same thing.
Cool. So we received phone calls. We've got a lot of people waiting to hear back from us. So you guys hear stuff, we're open, or maybe contact Suzanne or whoever might be organizing events. Want to get the word out among the community. But that's all.
all right. Got
And
anything
the
for us?
Jack in the paper, eclipse.
Well, the Harold indicated, I think at the last meeting, we had some good results in terms of the medical coverage. The experience we've been having this year has been very good. Got some preliminary rates in. They're pretty much flat, but We've got a meeting with our third-party administrator as well as Blue Cross Blue Shield representative on Friday. We're going to go back to the well a little bit more because we think our experience would indicate a little bit more. We can see if we can get for next year. So we'll be doing that this week and see how things go. But again, things look really well from that standpoint. So.
I see we got a scout in the back there, and do you want to say anything there?
Didn't know he was coming.
All right.
Is that a 513 scarf? I thought it was.
All right. Go ahead,
We
Debbie.
had the SMSLU or SMSL championship swim meet on the 14th and 15th, and it went really well. We had 428 swimmers, and the coaches just did an amazing job. The communities that came into the city said they want to come back because they felt so welcome. The Chamber of Commerce, the Main Street, just did an excellent job. We had great coupons. We have bags that we gave to each participant, and they so much appreciated it. So it was a real community event, and it went over really well. Today, we received $500 from U.S. Bank for children in need. And then we also received $25,000 from the Todd Heyman golf tournament. And that's for the trail as well as the lake. We're planning on putting a fountain to help with the water quality in Lions Lake, as well as beautification. So we're pretty excited about that. That won't pay for it yet. We'll have to raise some more funds, but we'll get the word out. And then this afternoon, I received a $2,500 check from Joe and Pat Ashman in regards in the memory of Dr. I don't know her, but she just passed away on Saturday, Craven, Dr. Craven from the university. So we received that for the inclusive playground. So today was a really good day. Thank you.
The storms all passed this weekend, so what you got for me?
Well, we had sweat at the firefighters
We're gonna lose our
yesterday.
power.
We did have
Kansas City.
a commercial structure fire, Victory Lane.
Ooh,
We kept, yeah.
I'm glad I got my Trans Am out of there in
Hey,
time.
good thing. The only thing we lost was about a room about 8 by 10.
Okay.
And it was a storage room, so
Wow.
pretty much all the equipment, tools, everything was no water damage and
Good.
anything like that, so. We had a lot of water dripping out of uniforms, but.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the county for covering the rest of the city for us, and the police department for blocking streets, and public works putting up the permanent blocks for us. We was there from 8 till about 1.
Cool.
And we did go see the new trucks.
Good.
Truck.
Good.
Ours is, we were supposed to be there for pre-paint, but it was already painted. Did a couple modifications, and it should be done this Friday, but we are not slated to pick it up till the 8th. We will go back up and do the final check on it and then drive it home.
Super. Gonna have any kind of welcome home ceremony?
Just glad to get home.
Just glad to get home.
Yeah. It's a 600 and some mile trip in a fire
Yeah,
truck.
yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
one.
We did talk with Chief Kushner, and we are looking at maybe doing something as part of the Bird Fest.
Yes.
Good.
As a community rollout for the new truck as well.
Good.
And also, the fire department, I believe, celebrates their 125th birthday this year.
Yes.
Oh, is that right?
Would be in combination with it as well. probably.
Good.
And this is the truck that was in the budget. This is
Yes.
this isn't the bond
This
truck.
is one of the
Yeah.
pumper trucks that we purchased.
Mhm.
It's all yours.
I don't have anything except I want to just point out what's in the city manager report. We're swearing in a new officer next Monday, Sophie Winger, 2 o'clock in the council chambers here, so if you guys are free, come on over. We'd love to have you support her. They always appreciate it, the new officers do when the city council comes over and just show that support. So we'll be here 2 o'clock, Jack. See if we can get the newspaper here this time.
I didn't get it on your calendar.
So we'll be looking forward to swearing.
You gonna put that on the calendar for us?
I already sent it, but I'll
Okay.
send you a reminder.
Okay, good, thanks.
Nothing, Doug? Nothing?
No.
You got anything, Bob?
For Visitors Bureau, maybe next year, we just had pretty much a national tractor pull, 2-day event out at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. And we didn't get much play on that, but there were a lot of out-of-towners here in the Fair City. And I went out and kind of walked around, and it, of course, that's a lot of horsepower, and I kind of like that. So, but anyway, just for something for next year.
I thought they,
Yeah.
I think they supported it last year. So
This
just,
is the second
yeah.
year we've had it.
Yeah.
Well,
This
it's
is
fine.
this
Isn't it
this
one
was
of
year
the
2.
It was a televised event last year too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's televised this, it was televised this year too.
This
Oh,
year
yeah, it
too.
was,
Yeah, it'll
it's a
be.
huge, it's one of the bigger events.
Yeah, Outlaws.
Yeah.
Today was kind of a blur, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I did see where the Outlaws did get a grant last year.
Yeah, they did last year, right, that's what I'm saying. Last year we supported them, so
Yes.
maybe they didn't come in there, or maybe that one's in that file we just found last week. So.
Application this year,
Okay.
Yes.
but that's
So.
good to know.
Yeah, I mean it's they bring quite a bit of business to the restaurants and the motels around locally. So
If you need a POC, I know one of the people who's involved in that probably can get you into a contact of.
Okay, great, yeah, we're gonna be, over the next several months, we're gonna be building contact lists. for all
Super.
the different events.
that's all I got.
You got anything, Rob?
Nope, I don't.
All right. You know, I just want to say that the swim competition there, I mean, we had a little hiccup in the beginning of that, but I mean, I don't think that could have gone off any better than we could have wanted it. I mean, I think when I talked to Mike, there was right around 500 swimmers that they had there. I mean, Facebook every 20 seconds somebody was posting on there asking what row was going on at the pool. You know, so we got a lot of coverage as far as Facebook goes of what it was. Everybody I talked to out there was ecstatic. I mean, loved it. Had great things to say about the city. Has several people asked if we were wanting to do it next year, and I said, you know, put us in for it, and we'll consider it again next year. I don't know how ecstatic Mike was when I said that, but you know, so. But yeah, I went out there Friday to support it. I was out there Saturday, and then I went back out there Saturday afternoon to give out the awards. So they were, I mean, several people from the bigger cities were like, I can't believe a mayor would show up for this, you know, and it's like, well, a little bit smaller town, so a little easier to do. But no, great event. I wanted to thank Parks and Recs, the Visitors Bureau, Chamber of Commerce, Main Street. I mean, I want to thank all you guys for getting into that, and I think Jackie even came over and took a bunch of pictures for us, so. There was something in the newspaper about it, you know, but, you know, so was very happy with that. I mean, everybody I'm talking to around the city is had positive things to say. You know, you get your few negative people here and there, but we can, you know, when that ratio is 1 negative to 10 positives, I'll take that every day of the week. So, but I want to say thank everybody for the job they're doing. So, all right, I guess we can move to close.
Nice to read it.
Somebody
Read
gotta
it? Okay. Vote to close part of this meeting pursuant to section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri relating to 1, legal actions, causes of action, or litigation involving the city and any confidential or privileged communication between the city and its representatives and its attorneys. 2, leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate where public knowledge might adversely affect the amount paid in the transaction. 3, hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a public governmental body when personal information about the employee is discussed or recorded. 12, documents or any documents related to a negotiated contract until a contract is executed or all proposals are rejected. 13, individually identifiable personnel records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employees or applicants for employment.
Lund,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
You can't leave yet. I know it won't take you long.
Sign all those now.
Bob, just a quick question for you. We were talking about the UCM, and you mentioned the intersection. You're talking about South and Holden, the intersection work that was going to be done there. Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, that was what I was talking about.
So what's the deal with that?
I just want to make sure that we weren't picking up more than our fair share.
St. Louis and Kansas City, I'm aware of. Yeah, we were trying to call some of those in the governor's ball.